Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. Today we are talking to Shona Smith. Shona Smith is a third-year Ph.D. candidate at the University of Texas at Arlington. She currently teaches human resource management at the undergraduate level. Prior to coming to UTA, Shona earned her bachelor's degree at Christopher Newport University in Newport News, Virginia, and her MBA from East Carolina University in Greenville, North Carolina. She has previous experience teaching organizational behavior at UT Arlington and has taught English to students located in China. Her primary research interests include age, diversity, and stigmatized identities. So in today's podcast, I was excited to talk to her about her big tips for teaching, and some of the things she talked about focused on being yourself and also bringing your authentic self to teaching. And so I thought those were fabulous, what we call soft skills for teaching. And so have a listen to see what she has to share with us. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Peggy Symingson, and I'm talking to Shona Smith, and she's in the College of Business. Hi. I'm glad to connect virtually. And then tell us about yourself and what you've taught so far.
Okay. So again, my name is Shona Smith, and I am in the Department of Management at the UTA. I started teaching last semester since I'm currently in my third year of my PhD program. And the class that I taught last semester was an undergraduate level organizational behavior class. And then this semester, I'm switching over and teaching undergraduate level human resource management class.
Oh, good. Okay. And then this is the main part, what is your advice for teaching?
Oh, okay. So I've been thinking about it and just kind of, reflecting back on like my first semester and how that felt. And so I came up with like the top 5 things that I kind of wish I would have, known beforehand a little bit, but that I learned and I really stuck to that made it more of like a smooth sailing experience. So the first one was to for sure be yourself. I noticed that when I first, I guess the very first day, I was just really nervous and I wasn't sure, exactly, how the students would, like me and things of that nature. But over time, you just kind of realize that if you just show up as yourself, people will gravitate towards you and it's fine. But it also helps you like not to be stressed and not to, be sweating up there, stuff like that.
Good reminder.
Yeah. And then the second thing is to actually show your students that you're committed to them. At the end of the day, yes, we're teaching them a subject matter and teaching from textbooks and PowerPoints and things of that nature. But I think that one of the true values about teaching is that you are touching students, like, intellectually touching students. And so like actually showing that you're committed to them kind of helps that reciprocal relationship to the point where they're, committed to you. And so I know that sometimes, you might be in a class, right? And you ask a question and nobody answers. And over time that becomes like a common thing. But when you show that you're committed to your students, you start, asking those questions, they're more likely to engage. It does, showcase that that relationship is happening. The third thing is to set boundaries. Although we are, showing commitment to our students, you still have to like protect yourself as well. And so, stick to your office hours, make sure that you're available, but also making sure that you take care of you as well. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then it's like, how can you, pour 100% into your students if you're not 100% yourself?
That's so true. Burnout.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Burnout's most definitely a thing, especially with this pandemic. Let's see. The fourth thing that I started doing, I want to say the second month of teaching, was imagining the teacher that, I really liked in undergrad and school in general. And like just thinking about like what were the traits and characteristics and behaviors and mannerisms that person had. And like, why did it, make me gravitate to them so much and like love the subjects that they taught so much. And I, kind of like incorporated that into like myself and my own teaching style, because I'm like, well, okay, if they're like that, and, me as a student, I really gravitated towards that, then maybe that'll help my students, be more engaged. Even if they don't really like the subject matter, still participate, things of that nature. And so it's like a mixture of that, and also like thinking about the type of teacher that your students need. And, kind of merging both of those together along with, your own like authentic identity. And then the last one that I have is just to never stop learning. I mean, there's a lot in textbooks, but it is really noticeable when people just stick to textbooks as far as like, their main source of learning. But there's so much that's going on like outside of the classroom that, you can pull into the classroom that can help. So, being observant, really knowing your stuff, making sure that you're knowledgeable, that you're well prepared, that you're not overcomplicating stuff, to be clear. So like, for example, UTA is it's really diverse, and there's a lot of international students. In my class, I had a lot of students where, English was their second language. And granted, like certified in teaching English as a second language, so I get it. But it's like sometimes in some of the classes that I've taken, you have the professors and, they know their stuff for sure, but they don't know how to be clear about it, be a little more concise and like, phrase their sentences in a way that even people who don't speak of English as a first language can understand. And so I think that like true knowledge of a subject is for sure knowing, how to condense information or even like, portray information to students in a way that anyone can understand it, regardless of, when they might have learned English or anything like that. Just being clear.
Yeah, that's so true. I taught bilingual ESL, and I'm a TESOL professor. So I totally get what you're saying about clear and concise, and that helps everybody.
Oh yeah, most definitely does. Because I mean, it's like once you get the foundation down, like once students get the foundation down, then it's a lot easier for them to build on top of that. But if they don't really get the foundation because you've, overcomplicated something, then it just makes it more difficult to, improve down the line.
Yeah, they check out and then it just deteriorates. So yeah, like if they don't understand the first point you made, how are they gonna, So that's totally true. I liked what you said about kind of the meeting them halfway thing. That's really helpful.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Most definitely. Well, good. And then any other advice, or do you have any like teaching in the pandemic or online advice?
Oof. So things have been like really interesting. Like for example, like this semester, I think the UTA just sent out an email recently saying that for the first 3 weeks would be online.
Yeah.
Like my class is technically, in person. And so I think like last semester we had to do like a 50-50 type setting where 50% of your class would be in person and 50% was online or something.
Yeah, reduced capacity.
Yeah, and so we did that for a few weeks. And so I think that honestly, one thing is just to kind of, relax and go with the flow. It is, a stressful time, but I feel like, at this point, everyone's just kind of used to the unexpected. And so, like just kind of, relaxing and just being transparent in that, because I mean, our students are being affected by it, we're being affected by it. But, I feel like, actually telling them, hey, we're going to get through this together, like make it seem as if, it's a collective type effort, because it is, goes a long way. But for me, what I did last semester, because, I did have some students who voiced concern about, not being able to social distance in class when we went back to, full capacity. I ended up, just letting the ones who, wanted to come to class like in person, because there were plenty who wanted to get the learning, in person, come in person. And then the people who prefer to, social distance and just, stay online, they joined through Teams. And so, I had my iPad set up with my Teams. I had Teams set up on, I had it set up on my iPad so I could see the chat. And then I had my team set up on the school's computer and shared screen that way. And I also had an Eco 360 set up as well for,
that's great.
Got sick, they could still see the recording of the lecture. And we just did it that way. We did a lot of Kahoot for exam reviews.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and they loved that, which was nice because it, gave them everybody opportunity to, participate in a sense. And even then, I most definitely just, gave free reign to everyone, regardless of if they were virtual, on Teams, or if they were in person, to, you can ask questions whenever you want. Yeah, sometimes, I might jump a little bit, like when the Teams thing would come on.
Yeah.
Would talk because you can't really see the screen fully. But yeah, I do think that like that kind of gave, how should I put it?
Yeah, like flexibility.
Yeah, a little bit more flexibility. It was different. And I mean, it'll be different this semester too, because I mean, everything's changing and stuff, but a lot of stuff is, it's just out of our control, and all we can really do is just adapt.
That's so true. It's like week by week. Yeah, totally. Well, I like your approach and your attitude. I think it really helps because I know we're all stressed a little. So having that approach really helps us all. So, well, good. I'm really glad. It sounds like you're doing really well. Thank you so much for sharing with us on this video.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.